Hey, what's up, guys? This is AJ. In our Polity series, we are discussing National Human Rights Commission today. Okay, so let's start. See, first is the composition. Again, there is a compulsion that the chairman of the National Human Rights Commission should be Chief Justice of India. Okay, and there will be 4 members. Okay, 2 members will be from judiciary and 2 members from the person who are working in a human rights. Okay, who have some experience in human rights. Okay, so these people constitute the chairman. There is a chairman, there are 4 members, as well as there are some ex officio members. Okay, who are they? The chairman of the National Commission for ST, women, then SC. Okay, minority affairs. Okay, so these people are ex officio members of the National Human Rights Commission. Okay, as I told you earlier, that there will be 4 members, 2 from judiciary and 2 working in a human rights. Then statutory body, it is a statutory body, which is National Human Rights Commission is not a constitutional body. Okay, remember that. It is not a executive body, remember that. It is a statutory body established in 1993. Okay, remember that, don't forget. Then appointing committee, again, the chairman is appointed by the president, but the president gets a name from the committee. The committee consists of these many people. Like there will be prime minister, there will be speaker, then there will be deputy chairman. Remember that. Who is the chairman of the Rajya Sabha? Rajya Sabha chairman is a vice president. Okay, so he is not included in the committee. Remember, only deputy chairman is included. Okay, remember that. So they might give you confusing option like chairman of the Human Rights Commission is appointed by the president and vice president. You might make it wrong. So just remember that deputy chairman of the Rajya Sabha is in the committee, not the chairman. That is the vice president of India. Okay, so then again, leader of opposition from Rajya Sabha as well as Lok Sabha. Remember that leaders of opposition is in every house. Okay, so every house has a one leader of opposition. Okay, whether it is a state legislative assembly or council or parliament, and in parliament also Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha. Remember that. Next is a central home minister. Again, obviously you are appointing a human rights commission, then we need to have a home minister in the committee. Again, I have written sometimes CGI. Why sometimes CGI? See, as I told you earlier, there will be 2 members from the judiciary. Okay, these members can be currently working in a Supreme Court or High Court. Okay, so we need to concern with the Chief Justice of India before appointing them. If you are appointing a person who is retired from the judiciary, then we don't have need to consult with CGI. But if you are appointing a person from the judiciary which is currently working in some court, then we need to consult with the CGI. Again, consultation of CGI means, as I told you earlier, there will be 2 senior most judges of the Supreme Court plus 1 CGI will be there. This is termed as a consultation. Okay, remember that. Then again, retirement age is 70 years. Obviously, a CGI gets retired in at the age of 65. Okay, as we discussed earlier. Okay, so after getting retired, he can work till the 70 years of his age. Again, in case of misbehavior, matter goes to SC. As I told you earlier, if there is incapacity of a person to work as a chairman of the National Human Rights Commission, then president can remove him at his will. Okay, but if there is he is removing that chairman on the grounds of misbehavior, then this misbehavior must be proven by the committee of the Supreme Court. Okay, so that's why the misbehavior matters goes to the Supreme Court. In all other matters, president can remove him directly. Remember that. On these types of the things that you miss generally while reading, on that only they ask question. Remember. Next point is, again, what is the job profile? Okay, so what he has to do? See, he inquires into matters of human rights violation. Obviously, that name states is all that anywhere if he sees that there is a violation of human rights, he can directly intervene. Okay, he visits jails. Why? Because most of the human rights violation has happened in the jail. There are derogatory conditions for the the prisoners in our jails. Okay, so that's why he can visit jails in India. Then he studies treaties and other international instruments and on human rights. Obviously, see, I just included the point that on that majoritarily, I think that they will ask question on these points only. There are so many things that a commissioner does, but mostly it is related to the human rights. Mostly, 100% it is related to human rights only. But you can guess those things, like if there is a violation of human rights, who comes into the picture. If this kind of question they ask, then you can directly guess that should be the National Human Rights Commission. Then for that, you remember these 2 points are there, like see, again, this is some vague point. You might think that why he should promote the research in the human rights. He might not promote the research. So that's why I included this point, like, yes, the National Human Rights Commissions promote the research and spread awareness in the field of human rights, as well as it studies treaties and other international instruments on human rights. Okay, remember these things, these are important. You might in the hurry think that this could not be the work of the Human Rights Commission. Again, I would like to tell you more things about the pattern in the UPSC. See, in the UPSC, if you have a perfect approach, that means I will know all the answers of all the questions. If you study in this pattern, then you will not score good marks in the UPSC prelims. Okay, remember that. You have to guess. You have to develop a technique to guess. See, they most of the time the questions they ask, sometimes you don't know even a single word from the of that topic, but still you have to tackle that question. Remember that. This is the mistake, common mistake every person does. Every UPSC aspirant does this mistake, that a perfectionist approach is not good to solve this exam. Okay, so while solving, I just want you to while practicing some MCQs, you should guess, logical guess. Make a habit to guess logically. Use your logic, use your knowledge in other fields. Okay, and then analyze the question sentences. Okay, so many people know on what topic they ask question, but how they ask question, forget to analyze. You just see the wordings of the every question, every option they give in that particular question. On that wording you focus, then only you can guess the correct answer. And if you don't go for the question that you don't know anything about, then you are there are very less chances of you passing the prelims examination. So remember this. Again, next point is it a quasi judicial body? Yes, of course it is a quasi judicial body. It has it has all the powers of the civil court, and it can give some it has the proceedings of Human Rights Commission has judicial nature. Okay, then obviously there so many people related to the judiciary are inside the National Human Rights Commission, so it has to be a quasi judicial body. This is a guess. See, again, you can guess from your knowledge. Okay, next point is again, one more drawback of the National Human Rights Commission is that it cannot take a case. Okay, whether it is related to Human Rights Commission or not, a human rights violation or not, still it cannot take the cases which are older than 1 year. Why this kind of things is included, I don't know, but this is included, that you cannot take cases more than older than 1 year. This is a criticism. So in mains you can use this point also, but in option also they might give some twisted options, like tell what are the true things about the following, which of the following is true about Human Rights Commission. Then that in that option they might include that it can take cases happened in any year. Okay, so at that time you have to use your logic, that you can it cannot do that. It has to take cases which are younger than 1 year. Okay, so this is the thing, this is how you have to guess. So remember that. Then next point is obviously the point again one criticism about the National Human Rights Commission is that its recommendations are in, has a recommended, the recommendations are not enforceable by law. It's just advisory body. Okay, so it gives just advice to the central government about the human rights violation. It cannot actually take some action. Okay, then but it can go to the Supreme Court or High Court. Okay, so if a particular case, in particular case, National Human Rights think that we need to use a writ. Okay, then at that time these powers of writs are vested in the Supreme Court and High Court. So it can go to the Supreme Court, ask Supreme Court that to issue some writ, and can do its job. Okay, remember that. Again, these recommendation given by the human rights National Human Rights Commissions are not binding. As I told you, it is advisory body. Next point is, what about the armed forces violation? Again, remember that there are so many people criticize that Armed Forces APSPA Act, that is Armed Forces Special Protection Act. Okay, so this act gives powers to the armed forces to shoot people after giving warning. So this is nothing but the violation of the human right. So, and for this act, what are the powers of the National Human Rights Commission? Remember that this point is very simple. 3 months. Remember the 3 months. What is 3 months? See, related to the violation of the human rights by the armed forces, the National Human Rights Commission has a limited power. Okay, it can just give some, ask us a report from the central government. Okay, so central government will submit its report related to the violation of the human rights by the armed forces. Then it reports will be studied by the National Human Rights Commission. Then after studying the reports, National Human Rights Commission will give some recommendations. Okay, and these, on that, see, again remember what is the 3 month. See, 3 months means what happens after giving recommendation, what central government has done regarding that recommendation, it has to report to the National Human Rights Commission within 3 months. Okay, remember that. The 3 months means what? That central government will report to the National Human Rights Commission within 3 months. This is the point. And next is memorandum of action. Again, see, what happens is that the National Human Rights Commission creates one annual report. That annual report will be presented in front of the Parliament. Then there will be a memorandum of action. What it means that memorandum of action means what the government has done regarding the recommendations given by the Human Rights Commission. Okay, so it has to tell these memorandum of action in the Parliament. Okay, remember that. So these are the powers and functions of the National Human Rights Commission. Thanks guys for watching this video, and we will meet in the next video. Peace.